Okay, we've arrived in Sicily. I found a little app online that would take you to the best priced fuel, and I just put in the town that we were heading to. So I thought I'd share with you fueling up on Sicily. We're down to about 127 something, which is not bad considering the prices in Italy are a lot higher, and we've seen prices as high as €1.50, €1.60 even. So 127, the app, I'll put a link down to it below if anybody wants to check out the fuel app. It's quite cool. There's the system, they've got the little gloves here as always. We have diesel, there are 2 diesel pumps, and you can put banknotes, which is great because I want to use cash. So we're going to put €50. That, for anyone that cares to know, is a €50 note. Down here, I'm just going to pop my €50 straight in. Make sure that I have selected pump 4. Get one of these little gloves because they do keep the gasoline smell off your hand. We're going to pop that in. 1.279 euros per litre. Now on Sicily that is not a bad rate. The prices here in Italy are quite a bit higher. We were getting under €1 a litre when we were up in Belgium, near Luxembourg. And we are done. So there she is. Hopefully 50 is enough, and we're reasonably full. It didn't clock out any earlier than 50. So they're doing the lamppost green. Anyway, we're going to head off. As I told you, we're in Sicily. We have no idea where we're heading, but at least we've got enough fuel to get wherever it is. You'll see when it comes to crossroads, it's really just a case of squeeze your way through. I mean, there was a bigger one back there. We might get to another one soon. It's a little bit like the crossroads I remember in India and places like that, where you just got to fight your way through. This guy's selling onions. Now we were hoping to get into a place before sundown on the other side on the Italian side of the border, and not on the Sicily side. So we've done fairly well to find ourselves a place and book ourselves in for a couple of nights, and we're just about going to arrive as the sun sets. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be a reasonably decent place. If you look at the curbsides, this actually isn't a bad example, but there are some pretty awfully maintained roads so far that we've seen in Sicily, and I haven't actually filmed them, but there are roads where the sides, like this on the right here now, are growing sometimes 4 or 5 feet onto the road, and they're brushing up against the side of your car as you're driving. So I'm not sure about road maintenance by the councils over here. Seems to be quite limited. There's another one of these little Sicilian villages on the edge of the road. You'll see as we wrap round here, it's not so big. It'll probably have the name if I possibly missed it already. And it'll only run for maybe about 200 meters. They almost look as if nobody lives in them, some of these villages, but I'm sure they do. There's signs of life at some of the windows. We often found that before, when we've been to Italy, there are towns that look as if nobody lives in them because on the hot weather, particularly in the summertime, they're used to closing all the blinds down, so the houses look completely abandoned. See the cacti on the side of the road here? Just to my right, I don't know if you saw, there's cacti, and that's another thing I thought I would only see in South America. I didn't realise that we had so much cacti over here. Whether it's native to Sicily or whether it's been bought here, I'm not sure. This guy looks like he might be roasting chestnuts or something. What is he doing? No, I don't think he's doing chestnuts, but he's roasting something there. There's another one. This is a little sort of tower chimney, and cacahuete, I think. Cacahuete.
Cacahuete.
I think they're doing peanuts, roasting peanuts.
Cacahuete. That's in French.
In French, that is cacahuete. I'm not sure what that is in Italian. So anybody knows what peanuts are in Italian, please comment down below. So 1 hour and 11 minutes till we arrive at our destination. The sun is getting very low. We may not arrive before sunset. And we haven't got the exact address, just the approximate location. Can you imagine, amongst all this palaver, finding one building? Guy walking over with his baby, oblivious to the traffic. Really, you do have to kind of just take control when you're walking on these sort of streets and hope that the traffic will form around you. And generally it does. This is very similar to a lot of these very chaotic countries where the traffic is really crazy. You see it in Southeast Asia and India also. Really, it's just a case of taking control. Every country you go to, you have to learn the rules of zebra crossings, or I'm not sure what you would call these in your country. Maybe you can comment down below. In England, for example, in Australia, very much they are places you have to stop and let pedestrians cross. In some parts of the world, they just seem to be decorations on the street. In other parts of the world, you can kind of attempt to cross and stop the traffic. From what I've seen in Italy so far, they're regarded with a little bit of contempt. But if you wish, it is a place where you can sort of force yourself across the road, and cars will begrudgingly come to a stop. Now, you might call me foolish, but we're not taking the motorway that goes around to the location where we're heading to, and for sure it would be a lot quicker to go on the motorway, and we would pay a small toll. I do think that we would have missed some of the sights and sounds of driving on those small roads earlier on, and we certainly wouldn't be coming up this windy road here, which maybe is a blessing, but I'd rather have this occasional windy road and see some of the villages and towns than to zoom along the motorway and miss it all. There's a big sign written on there. If you get a chance, pause the video, read it, tell me what it says. Now we're way up in the mountains now, up high, and unfortunately I don't think you're going to be able to see it from the front of the car, but we can oversee all the sea down there. I think it's the Mediterranean, and there up on the right, there's that huge, great big building. It's getting bigger as we get close. It's almost a castle, come cathedral perhaps.
I think it's a monastery.
Monastery, that's what I was, another word I was looking for. Could well be a monastery, Michelle says. What do you think? They often do, but buildings of sort of religious importance up on these hilltops. And we really are up on the hilltop now. You can see we've been climbing for quite some time. Almost like a monastery. It could even be a prison. It's got quite an austere look to it. But it looks like we do have another very pretty village or town to drive through here. If this lady wants to pop over. And now I'm on the other side of a bay, and we're going back down the mountainside. Now it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, whether or not you do these smaller roads and you get a bit extra distance. You're going to be paying extra in fuel because you're driving on bends and up mountains. If you go on the péage, on the auto routes, you're going to pay a few euros, not too expensive, maybe 2, 3, 4 euros to get a more direct route. Now, on hindsight, I think I probably should have gone along the auto route. Would have got us there a bit quicker and may have got us to our apartment before sunset. We've got about 45 minutes left still to drive, but just look how beautiful these views are. You really can't beat driving along these country roads. Sometimes if you have to get there, well, you don't have to get there, but if you wish to get there a little bit quicker and you don't like all these bendy roads, then said it might be as well to pay the few dollars and go on the auto routes. And then Google decides it will take you the shortest route, and we are, I mean, these are the good roads we're on now. Michelle will testify, there's a huge drop to the left of us, that we have been down the roads where the car virtually stalled. It was so steep we couldn't get up the hills. The bends were so sharp we had to do them in 2 or 3 segments. And where are we going? We have no idea at all. It's actually calling this thing a road, as if we're actually on some sort of main road or something. There is nothing.
Sharp right to stay on Strada Provincial 135 pair,
right
SP 135 pair.
Well, oh, sharp right.
Oh, we've got lines.
We've got lines. We've got a road that's more than... There were roads down there.
On SP 135 tear for 800 meters.
We actually thought we were completely lost. We've been climbing up roads so steep that you would struggle to walk up them. I'd have to be in... The car stalled twice. I had to crawl up at first gear. There's a point where it was so narrow that the car was barely able to squeeze between the walls. There were houses up there. I wish I could have shown you actually. I mean, this is much better. But we are well and truly, well, we're not lost, because by all intents and purposes, we are now 20 minutes away from our destination. But what a drive. There's all bushes growing over them. At least at night time you can kind of see if there's a car coming in the opposite direction. But the last road just before I started filming was frightening. And I don't frighten very easy on roads. Wow, I don't know if you can see, to my right, it just drops off for hundreds and hundreds of feet. This road is up on the edge of a cliff. So I'm guessing the place we're staying is up here somewhere. Who knows? Oh, great, caution signs. That's what we need. The road's collapsed. Perhaps. The drop off to my right, these bushes you can see here on the right, they look like bushes. They're the tops of very tall trees that are growing off the mountainside. That wall to the right of me doesn't look like it's got a lot of substance. Looks like the road has collapsed a few times already. Do you like this driving, Michelle?
No.
Why not?
I don't like heights. I don't like being on the edge. Luckily you're on the edge this time.
Yeah. It feels very secure. Is that a car coming around that bend, or is it just my lights reflecting? Because
who knows?
we haven't got a lot of options up here. Wow, the drop
sky looks
again.
nice.
Look at this right of me, it just falls away. It's amazing. I think these sort of wooden picket fences, I'm not sure what they're doing there. They look as if they're meant to keep animals in, but there's no way an animal could be the other side of that fence. It just drops off. Well, I do hope the people that own our accommodation have got the message we're coming, because otherwise we're sleeping in the car, and I don't fancy sleeping in the car up on this mountainside.
5.3.
5.3.
12 minutes apparently.
Just 12 minutes, almost the last 10 minutes to go. Let's hope a good rainstorm would have this road wash off the side of the mountain, I think. What on earth are we doing up here? Oh, a little mouse or a shrew just flew across the road. I'm going to pull in and let this car go past us. Squeeze in, breathe in. I'm not sure that this would be any more pleasant to drive along in the daytime. I think it would be quite a scary drive. You see all these, it's a black tarmac where they're just filled in where the road's crumbling off the edge.
In 200 meters, continue Autostrada Provincial 135.
Hey, Pussycat. Now, which way here?
Does it continue?
Up or down, do you think, Michelle? Let's have a little zoom in here and see if we can see the split. Okay,
Down.
it looks to be down. We're gonna go with down.
Ooh.
This guy's on any side of the road. So hopefully, not that I want to drive a long way down, but I'm hoping our place is a little bit lower down. These are not nice roads. Look how narrow these roads are and how tight these bends are. You can't probably see it. Maybe if I turn the camera, if I can, a little bit that way, so you can judge whether or not just how tight these bends are. You come up to them here and then you can barely see. You'll have to look out your driver's side glass or your window to see the road that you're turning around. Here again. Oh, that guy didn't slow down an inch. And I tell you, that's why you need small cars, but unfortunately we haven't got a very small car here, and I don't know if they bother to...
Turn right onto SP 135.
Oh, not up there, is it? Oh, turn right.
No, it's down.
In 600 meters, turn right onto SP 135.
Stop pretending we're on roads. We're not on roads. I think the owners of this place have probably gone to bed by the time we get there. What time is it?
7 o'clock.
It's 7 o'clock. It's not so late. But it's later than I want it to be, and I can see a lot of blue road ahead of me.
7 minutes.
She says we're 7 minutes away.
2.5 Ks.
It feels like we're hours away still.
Look at those blue lines.
If you look at the GPS, it looks like somebody's dropped some blue wool on the road, just down on the floor. It's a zigzag.
Turn right onto SP 135.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
of course. Turn right. Down here.
That'll be that right then, won't it?
And we're going back now. Oh, can you sense in my voice that I've had enough of this now? It's sort of getting to the point where...
Turn right onto SP 135.
It's just talking about turning right as if there's actually options here. There is no right, it's just...
A bend.
A bend.
That's left anyway.
And that's why I'm worried that...
Oh, I can see the flag.
Yeah, but the flag isn't necessarily the right spot. We don't have the address. It's going to be difficult for us when we actually get to this place to be sure that we've got the right street. And can you imagine, look at where we're driving now, can you imagine trying to find...
In 400 meters, turn left onto SP 135.
Yeah, I'm quiet. That's a tight bend. Could you imagine trying to find a house in this sort of light? I do wonder sometimes if she's taking the mickey out of us with this turn left, turn right. Maybe each one of these bends has got a different name, but I haven't seen anything that could be considered to be a left or right turn so far. I'm not sure if we'll put this vlog up, but if we do, have a laugh. Because this is the other side of touring. To try not to, when you tour, do too much night driving. It's not the best. Certainly not the best. And I can see still many yards of blue wool ahead of me on the GPS. So she says 2 minutes away, but
800 meters.
800 meters. It feels as if we're miles away. What's it called, this place?
Michael Angelo house.
She says we're only...
In 500 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Oh no, it can't be. We're nowhere. We're absolutely nowhere. How is that possible? How is that possible?
Oh, there's a house. Angelo? No.
What was it called?
Michelangelo.
We are not. I'm not saying that it would have been the end of the world. I'm hoping.
Go a bit slower.
Thought she wasn't going to put her lights on. That wasn't Michelangelo House. I'm not saying that it'll be any better. The lady in front of us is actually taking us to the address. So we were at the wrong spot. I'm hoping it's not as disastrous as that place looked, but I'm not being rude, but it wasn't a particularly nice looking property. And this very sweet lady says we've arrived. Okay, she's indicating as if it's to go in here. So here.
Là devi scendere, vedi quanto, qua proprio alla sua sinistra.
Oh, down there. Oh God.
See?
E quella la casa, vedi qua proprio, lei suona là che poi ci sarà qualcuno, capito?
No. Just,
Only for you, because I tell to Maria Miraiotta, put a sign,
Yes.
but it's difficult to find.
Yes. In the dark also.
In the dark, it's really difficult.
Grazie.
Bye, bye,
bye bye.
Ciao, ciao, buonasera.
Maria.
Maria, that'll do. Ring the bell. Down here.
We could be here. We're not sure. Let's go and check it out. We've arrived, and just as I worried, my worst nightmare is there's nobody here. It's about as remote as you can get it. There's a road. Luckily we hadn't got to go down that road because it's almost a 45-degree incline. At least I don't think we have to go down there. And with much asking around the neighborhood, a gentleman called David is coming here, but there's no one here. They're not expecting us. Which also means perhaps the rooms are not ready. I will leave you. Ciao. It is so difficult and we're both tired. I will leave you, and tomorrow we will check in with a brighter day and let you know how things turned out. Gotta wait here. 5 minuta. 5 minuta?
Something like that. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Ciao.